Welcome, everyone. I'm Mike Brashazade.
And I'm Ashley Ward.
And you're listening to the What Matters podcast, and our mission
to spotlight top RIAs, wealth managers, and investment professionals who are redefining wealth management.
Join us as we dive into their journeys, strategies, and insights.
Whether you're an investor or an inspiring pro, this is for you.
Get ready for impactful conversations on the What Matters podcast. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the What Matters podcast. I'm your host, Mike Brashazade.
And I'm Ashley Ward.
And today we're thrilled to have Scott Jarrett, the CEO of Invst, joining us from Indianapolis, Indiana. Scott, it's fantastic to have you on the show. And I hope I pronounced your firm right there. INVST. My apologies.
You can't spell, but we sure can invest,
right? Well, Scott, it's great to have you with us today. Thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you. So happy to be here. Appreciate it.
So, Scott, let's just start by delving right into your journey in the financial service industry. Can you share with us and our listeners your background story and really the experiences that motivated you to founding Invst?
I think a lot of the history of Invst was really creating the life that I wanted to live and to be able to help others, primarily because of my past. And I think a lot of that story is important to get to the why of what Invst is. For me, I grew up in a very poor environment. I had a single mother. We were on food stamps. I had a young brother and sister that she would leave and I would have to take care of and help. I was like the man of the family at a very young age. And I just felt like there was always this fear component within, don't leave the house or protective services will take you, or there's gangs and drugs and stuff outside. And by the way, you're 7 years old and you got your brother and sister in diapers. So it was always this life of fear as my childhood was going. And it was stay in the locked box, stay in the house, don't leave. And as my mom would go work and then come back late at night and, are you guys okay? But we couldn't afford, care, and that stuff. And it was just, when I look back on it, it was always this fear. And all I wanted to do was be free. And I didn't know what freedom looked like to myself. I just knew that other people, I wasn't able, you didn't have the luxuries, wasn't able to leave the house, wasn't able to do things. So you sit there and you really start to be, and you're in a quiet, dark room and you're stuck in, you're like, what do you want your life to be? And it gives you a lot of time to think about what's possible. And for me, it was I'm ready to knock the doors off this, knock the hinges off and go tackle life. So by the time I was 12 years old, I had no choice. I was thrown into entrepreneurship, started a paper route, started doing things like that, and just kept figuring things out, kept falling forward, kept just grinding. It's what I knew how to do. And then from that point on, I ended up getting a college scholarship to go to play football in college, which was great. No one in my family had ever gone. And luckily, they let you in by NCAA standards, or education-wise, got in and realized, there's another path forward. So I started getting better at figuring things out. And then after that, I got a master's in technology, got a job in corporate America. And then my evolution came to where I was like, man, I really want to help other people. And wouldn't it be cool if we could create a company that would help people find freedom and really find what they want and help them live the life that they want? And finances is a tool to get there. And so the journey that I went through of this living in fear to what freedom could be literally became the entire building of Invst. So how do you not just build Invst as an action, Invst as what it stands for? It's about you and you as your most important asset. How do you become better? And then how you live a life of purpose and do these things so you have true freedom of your money, freedom of your time, freedom of your relationships, and freedom of your bigger purpose. And once someone can clearly identify what that is, the investment part that everyone thinks of money is really just a tool to allow you to live that life. And if you think about what Invst is, it's all encompassing of all those things. And it's literally just a microcosm of my childhood to what is right now. So if I could have the perfect life for myself and perfect, I'll live a life that you would never want to retire from, it's living that passion, helping people live that journey. So today we're the fastest growing RA in the Midwest. We've got 10,000 clients, 2,500 households. I've got a couple Wall Street best-selling books, and I think it's working. I think we're having that reaction. our average client age in the mid 40s. We're seeing the people build wealth, real wealth, not really necessarily managing it because we're the wealth building. And you're seeing the tools and principles that we use are actually working. So if you could put it in a box, like I actually created the perfect life for myself, and now others can be part of this community. So that's what Invst is all about. So thanks for
Real
asking.
cool. Well, I think that was probably one of the best answers I've ever received, or we've ever received.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I appreciate the honesty and vulnerability there with that answer. I mean, there's clearly a lot of passion and inspiration behind your company. And I love that you said you're wealth building, not wealth management. I love that.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about more about Invst. You guys have grown to what, around 1.5 billion of AUM, if you don't mind me saying that. Sometimes that number we get from public information, so sometimes it's off. How did you guys grow the company? Or, I say you and your team, how many total advisors? Did you guys grow organically, inorganically?
Yeah. So, okay. Great question. When I got out of college, I went and got this job, and I realized that I wasn't living my purpose or passion. And I had a good paycheck. My roommate at the time was in financial services. And I was like, hey, I got an idea. You quit your job and we'll take my paycheck, throw it in there, and let's help people financially. Even though we really don't know what we're doing, I think we'll figure it out. But he was the expert. I was still learning. And that's how we started the original foundation of what Invst is today. And that's how it started. What we did is we would go meet with an entrepreneur and say, let me help you. Let me help you find money that's leaking out of your life. Show you how I can put it back to work and how I can create value for you. And I won't charge you anything for it. Just let me have a shot. And we've been doing that for 20 years. And this is what's happened. It's just really digging in. And now we create better structure, better frameworks, better ways that now we have principles and rules and things and tools that will help these high-powered entrepreneurs get what they deserve. So the answer is it's been very organic. It's been adding tremendous value to the world. And then when you add value replicates and they tell others. And that's how we've grown the company over the last 20 years.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so how many advisors do you guys have now?
20.
20.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just you and your partner 20 years ago starting, and now to 20. That's remarkable.
Yeah.
So, along the way, what are some of the most valuable entrepreneurial lessons that you've learned that you think would be valuable to share with aspiring wealth managers or entrepreneurs in this industry? It's becoming extremely competitive. What advice would you have to share with them?
In our industry in general, or business in general? Any particular?
You can take that question however you like it.
All right, perfect. I would say that there's two current paths. There's a personal path. Actually, there's 3 legs to a stool. If you look at a stool, like there's 3 legs, we have a 3-legged stool, and they're all equally important. One's your professional, one's your personal, and one's your business. And if any one of those legs get neglected, the stool will fall over. In your financial life, the business and the personal side are moving together. They are moving together. So if your business is working really well and your personal life is out of balance, the stool will fall over. Vice versa, if you got a really good personal life, and you're not putting the energy into the business, it'll fall over. If you're growing those 2 things really well, but you're not a good professional, you don't know how to solve problems, get to issues, be able to speak clearly, share vision, your professional skills fall off, then eventually it'll catch up with you. So the big thing is once an entrepreneur realizes that there's actually 3 legs and they're all working together, and now you can give each one the attention they need, that will be a secret to your success to help you move forward in these 2 current paths. And there's actually thinking that goes along with that will help you in that journey. So as you're going through your journey, so let's go back to my childhood a little bit. It was like at the very beginning, mom got up, went to work. So the way you did it, you traded time for money. So you're working in your PI. So your physical, how much physical work can you do? So you go work hard, come home, go to bed. Well, you know what? If you go get an education and you get an IQ, then you can start to learn how to do better, and they'll teach you how to get a job. So then you get a job, then you get that. And by getting a job, they say, look, you can work up to management. Now you can have an EQ, your emotions to it. You can be better stewards of that. And you start to move. And you go to transformation. How do you go to transforming something? It's that you're so adapting and awareing. You're so aware of what's happening and you can adapt to the future to accelerate. So as you go through your life, you start to learn these different skills. So as an entrepreneur, where are you on this continuum of learning? Do you think in linear thinking where you're 3 + 3 + 3 is growing? Do you have exponential where you're starting to grow? So it's like what MapQuest was. We're driving down the street. It's like, oh no, there's a pothole there. The road's closed. Where Waze now is saying, oh, there's the pothole. Here's how we're moving around it. To where are you so aware of where you currently are that you can adapt to any changing environment that's happening all the time? So now we're talking about quantum thinking. So we're going from linear to exponential to quantum, which is the big phrase out there. When once an entrepreneur can understand that there's these 3 paths and they're self-aware to where they are, now no matter what happens in our life, we can make the adjustments personally, business-wise, and professionally to overcome all the uncertainties and unknowns in life. And you're literally moving from being a human doer to a human being. And that's what we're doing. It's like you're being, you're present. I'm with you right now. I'm hearing what you're saying and I'm able to feel the energy and what's happening. I'm able to maneuver through whatever's happening in my personal life, my business life, my professional life. And to me, that's the game we're playing. If you look at the top entrepreneurs at their game, they have a quantum piece to them. They're thinking different. They're very self-aware. They know how to adapt. And like our new book says, they know how to accelerate.
Real cool.
Very fantastic answer there. And I think that really segues right into what I wanted to ask you next. Your book. So you've written a few books, best-selling author of Future Hack being one of them. What inspired you to write just books in general or any of the books? And can you share with our listeners your different books and what they're about?
Yeah. So let me get one real quick. Here's Future Hack. And you see the ordinary person literally jumping over the mountain, similar like what Air Jordan's doing, holding his baggage, his briefcase, skipping the valleys, just moving through life. And the idea of the book was a lot of my personal journey is what are the secrets, the hacks, the simple solution to the common problem that help you live the life that you want. Because really everyone wants to do that. And we broke it down into 10 steps and what's there. And I guess people liked it enough that it got a little award. And I can't write, I can hardly spell, can hardly read. I'm dyslexic and I have ADHD. So it was pretty amazing. It got it done. This one took a long time because of my own chokehold on my creativity. But this was something that the story needed to be told. And there's a lot in here that can really help you. And think about your future and what your future could be. And when I talked about this awareness of where your MapQuest to Waze to a compass, like this is your compass. Like you're thinking like, what would life be out here? And this helps you get that kind of thinking. So it's all about your mind over money and what you want, what you can accomplish in that way. And so this was the first book that came out. Okay. And then the second one's Accelerate. And you see, we're just going to the moon. And so it's all about like what you want. So how can you reach financial freedom faster? Why would you ever retire from the life that you love? What about we become work optional? What does freedom mean to you? What are the 4 freedoms that you need to understand? How do you get clear moving from fear to freedom? And what we've uncovered over the last 20 plus years is there's really 6 key principles that you have to discover and know about yourself to get there. So it's not about a product or a quick fix, a magic pill. It's going to solve everything. It's the combination of everything working together in unison, but you are your most important asset. This is the pen. You design the life that you want. Your future will be bright because you write it. That's what this book's all about. So now you have a framework. You have tools and disciplines and things that you can use to take massive action to get to what you want that I've learned that's helped me and a lot of our clients get there.
That's fantastic.
That's
and so
awesome.
where can everyone find your books?
Where?
Amazon.
They're on Amazon.com. So that's an easy way to get it. If you go to ScottJarred, JARRED.com, you can get to my personal site and you can get books there and schedule a call and go through some of the stuff. Also, if you go to invest.accelerate.com, there you will have access to our May limited edition, which is the Jack Harvey Indy car. So we have an Invest car. So you're going to talk about accelerating to the life that you want to live. Jack Harvey's an IndyCar racer, one of my good boys. We backed him. He's on the track. So we're helping him accelerate to the finish line like he always does. So in here, on May 30th at 2 p.m., you'll have a webinar and you can get those principles and how to go and what the program could all be. And that would be a really good way just to get to learn more about it if you really want to deep dive in. And we're really excited about this. So if you're in Indy, come see us. We'll be at the track at the IndyCar all month of May. It'll be amazing. Hang out with Jack. He's got much better hair than I do. He's like the dreamiest guy. He's got the British accent and he's like amazing.
Where do I sign up? No.
Yeah, exactly. My wife's like, well, what's Jack look like? Oh, wow. I was like, wait till you hear him talk. She's like, no. I was like, yes.
And do you, any plans for any future books in the coming year or two?
I am so excited. Gino Wickman, who is the founder of EOS and wrote Traction, we are really wanting to put a book out on how do you accelerate your business? How do you get your business to the next level? How do you really build enterprise value? So he said he'd give me 1 day to work on that, which is perfect. It's all I need because we both probably couldn't get much more done in 1 day because we're two like all over the place. So that's really exciting. Also, James Dixon, Pastor James Dixon, with Absolute Motivation. He's been working with Ben Hardy on a book that I think will be really cool. That I just got a call from Ben Hardy's mom yesterday on like what they think that could be. So I don't know what will come out of that, but I'll tell you, motivation, education, and celebration will be in there somewhere. And that's what the 3 things that we stand for. It'll be really cool to see what Ben's got in store for that. So yeah, there's going to be some stuff coming out. And it's going to be really good.
Really cool.
Very cool.
So what I wanted to ask you there is, what do you see as the future for Invest there? Where do you guys plan on going with everything? You've been at this for what you said, 20 years now. What's on the horizon for the next 5 to 10 years?
I think that there's a huge problem in the world where people don't really know where their North Star is, what they're shooting for. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of like one-trick pills, things that will solve your solution, right? Wall Street says, hey, I got this thing, this product or whatever. But the reality is you're your most important asset. So right. Like, I'm like looking at, like, if I had in 10 years from now, if Invest could find 1 million people, they literally are living the life that they want. They are living free in all areas, not just financially, but with their being, their present, they're living their best life. That would be a huge opportunity that I think we can do. And the way you do it is you gotta motivate people that they can do this. We gotta educate them really well. And then when they have a win, we celebrate. And that's the 3 things that we gotta do. So the more that we can get more people around that vision, the better off we do. So the who's, the people that are trusted advisor network, and we speak the same language, then we start to help our audience get to this level. Because it's not just me, it's a following, it's a calling, it's a movement. And that's what the world needs right now more than ever, because we're day trading attention and all this stuff. And until you're absolutely aware of where you currently are and you're adapting to the world and you're accelerating to this life that you want to live, that to me, if we can do that in 10 years, and that's been the mission I put on our company, is like, that's the impact we need to do. So we got to start thinking like that. And if we can just make a dent in the universe with just that many people, wow, what more could they do with their universe that they're impacting?
Very exciting. And so what are your thoughts on the future of the industry, the future of wealth management? Any specific trends, technologies, strategies that you really are going to shape the future of the industry and potentially, help with the next wave of wealth creation?
Oh man, I get like 1,000 ideas in my head. Then you got to figure out which one you can actually implement and execute. It's like Elon Musk is like, man, I could have a plane sit here, turn and fly up. Problem is, who can actually execute doing that? I know how to do it, but who's going to get it done? To me, the next wave of everything that we're doing and what we're building is, like, if you read the book Accelerate, we talk about these financial game boards, the game board of life. Like, think about, we're playing chess with your life. And I could sit there and put everything on the level playing field. Every single financial piece you have has a power, has a move, has different things that we can start to see real time how things play out, what that would be. And once you get your game board so balanced, which we have this right now, but what it does, it gives the entrepreneur, the business owner, the stay-at-home mom, whoever it is, the ability to be so aware of where they currently are that they can adapt to any changing environment that happens. the president gets elected, or the interest rates go up, or market conditions change. So it's all about this new quantum thinking. It's about all the stuff that's happening in AI and how we can answer questions faster. And it's managing the entire balance sheet of someone and their mindset and the way they think, and giving them the tools to have the disciplines needed to be successful. Help them break bad habits, get good habits, not be anchored to your past. Think about things that can be possible in the future. It's that platform, what we call Invest for Life, that's doing all those things that will transform the industry to being a better place versus put money in my 401k. I want to be successful. The industry has done a great job of separating people from their money for their benefit. What we want to do is empower people to take control of their own lives, give them the pen, let them design the future that they love, and then give them the tools to do that so they can live worry-free. That's what we want to build.
Real cool.
I love that. And now let's talk about investments a little bit. What investments or sectors are you most excited about right now?
Right now, all of them. They're all unbelievable. Think about what's happened in the market just year to date. Like the NASDAQ's on fire. Like I've not seen it on such a fire in a long, long period of time. People are like, what's going on? I was like, there's another revolution happening, and it's happening underneath you right now. The transformation and what's happening with the quantum computing and artificial intelligence and all that, these companies that are embracing that right now are going to the moon, like NVIDIA and these entrepreneurial companies. It's unbelievable. In 1975, the value of the market, if you looked at the whole market cap of the S&P 500, 90% of the value of the companies were based on tangible assets. Tangible means like things like hard assets, like cars, plants, things of that nature. And only 10% was intangible. You fast forward to 2024, it's the opposite. 90% of those assets are intangible. These are the companies like NVIDIA and Apple and Amazon, Tesla that have intellectual property and things that are different, and the tangible is only 10%. So what that tells you is the mind's much more powerful than anything. And all this is just starting. And we live in America, we live in a free economy, and you can create whatever you want. And that's where we're at. So this is the best time ever to invest. And anyone that says otherwise is totally missing out. Like there's so much opportunity in the markets and different things. You just want to be in the right spot. So you need to have rules to your money, understand where they are, and put yourself in a position to take advantage of them when they present themselves.
So what I wanted to talk to you about is, with everything that's gone on in the economy over the last, few years since COVID, interest rates, what do you feel the economic outlook looks like there?
It's good, positive. Think about the best thing that we could have done is raise interest rates. Think about most of these, like it was like, oh, we're going to be Japan. Really? Well, they haven't raised interest rates. They have negative interest rates. So the Fed is trying to get ahead of it. They're trying to protect. The Fed's number one product is the US dollar. Like their job is to protect the dollar. That's what we're doing. Now you see all the cryptos, all that stuff and coming in, all that. So there's a whole narrative there. But at the end of the day, where would you want to build your company? Would you want to do that in Ukraine, Russia, China? Like, where would you want to go? What a market economy would you want to be in? The United States has natural resources. We've only got 300 million people in it. We can open and close our borders how necessary. We have so much opportunity. People are coming here in groves. If we just said, hey, guess what? We want to take the best of the intellectual capital around the world and come in here, and we open the floodgates, we could let that in. So America is so poised for growth that I don't think people realize how powerful it really is. We're in a really good situation. So once we stop thinking about all the bad stuff and start thinking about the abundance and the opportunity that presents itself in a free country, it's amazing. It's amazing. So we just got to get out of our own way and start to look at what the possibilities are. And there is such opportunity in front of us. And that's what you're seeing. The market's been on a tear. Housing prices are flying up. There's so much opportunity. We're buying office towers right now. Like literally we're buying office towers for free. Like we're getting them for like 7% of replacement cost. We bought a $400 million real estate portfolio. It helped our clients get in this stuff, like taking Wall Street to Main Street. And like there's such opportunity in the urban core because of the COVID fallout and all that stuff. It's huge opportunities that people are just walking past. Every day I was like, you got to be kidding me. You can buy these right now and print money. But that's where we're at. So there's always a market somewhere and there's always an opportunity, and we can take huge advantage of that here. It's all about, once again, how aware are you currently positioned that you can adapt to the environment when it happens. So if your portfolio is able to maneuver, and it's using what we call like the 6 factor of momentum, and it can move with the trend, then you're in a good position. So when the market happens, like COVID happens, like, oh my gosh, the world's going to end. I was like, hey guys, this is not the right time to panic. This is definitely not it. This is the right time to double down on some really good stuff. I remember taking the S&P 500. Every stock was in the red. I took it to my kids. I said, look, whatever you have in your account right now, pick the stocks you like and you will make money. I guarantee you, you will be really wealthy. Just pick the ones you want. Put your entire allowance in it. You'll be fine. I don't care which one it is. And they picked Walt Disney, Southwest, and guess what? Those aren't doing so hot right now, but they still made a lot of money from 2020. And I was like, come on. So that's what we got to start looking at of like what this stuff is on the other side. But do you have rules to your money? Can you hold on? Do you have assets that are uncorrelated to the market? So when opportunities present, you can move. The reason why we can take massive action on good opportunities is because we're positioned well. We are so aware of what's happening around us. We can make the adaptations necessary, and we make that accelerated jump to buy low, sell high, move when there's blood in the water, take action, right? Don't be greedy when others are fearful.
Yeah, I think that's really the perfect note to leave our listeners with.
I didn't create them. I just paid attention.
Thank you so much, Scott, for joining us today,
built those in, and then you too can discover your DNA, how you're wired.
Such a delight having you on the show.
How's your money to work for
really
you
enjoy your
versus
energy
working
and
for someone
passion,
else.
enthusiasm.
And then once you get there, you'll find
check out his book,
the world is
Future
plenty
Hack
full of
and
opportunities.
Accelerate.
Remember, I
really
came from
excited to see
nothing.
what's to come.
I didn't know
with these upcoming books here.
how to do any of this stuff, but we've been winning all along the way because of these simple rules that I've now mastered that we can now share with others.
That's right. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the What Matters podcast. Stay tuned for more inspiring conversations coming your way soon. Until next time, take care.